Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video, and it is all but over at last. This saga is done. Mason Mount is leaving to go to Manchester United. Officially reported by David Ornstein. He got to the exclusive first of all. It comes to us, and I'm going to be giving my immediate reaction. Big up everybody in the chat. This has only just come in right now. I was just walking home from the studio and I see it pop up. Thanks for the people that's been DMing me, keeping me up to date with everything that that's been going on as well, just in case I missed things. Manchester United have reached an agreement with Chelsea to sign Mason Mount. Deal for the 24-year-old England midfielder worth up to 60 million, 55 million plus add-ons. Listen, I'm putting it at 60 million. They have Mudryk down as the full totality of the fee. So no one ever goes with the initials. So we're going with the full totality, 60 million pounds altogether, the package, permission to go and do the medical and finalize personal terms. Now the paperwork stage, we know that Mason Mount reportedly had personal terms agreed. That's not going to be an issue now going forward. I am absolutely, first of all, really happy with the price. I said to Manchester United fans on multiple platforms, if you want this player, 60 million, 60 million, 60 million. And I was starting to think that we were going to settle on the 55 and 5 million differential to kind of, you know, get this kind of situation done and move on from the toxicity in the fan base. Is definitely, you know, 5 million. I'm willing to just, you know, scrape that off. But listen, we've got the full 60 million, and that will hopefully go to Caicedo. I'm expecting that move to now be made imminently in the next few days. You know, July 1st now, we should be moving heavily on Caicedo. So that just adds to the kitty, that adds to the fund. And, you know, in terms of the deal, he's only got 1 year left on the contract. You've maximized, you've absolutely squeezed the living daylights out of Manchester United on this fee. I think they initially came in with 40 million. We've managed to get it 20 million more. And at the end of the day, we move, we keep it moving. Do you know what I mean? This is a player now that's become so controversial in this fan base. There's been so much debate, so much animosity, so many spaces being run, so much toxicity. And now you just say it's all behind you. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those situations that I said it on my last live. As much as I do believe that, you know, both parties at different points would have been in the wrong, potentially, you know, not signing the initial contract given to you. You could say out of, you know, ego or whatever it was, agents. And then also, you know, 1 year deal extensions being rejected. And now you go to the board as well, maybe not valuing him as high as some of the fan base do, as some of the kind of propaganda in the articles do, in terms of, you know, build your team around Mount, you know, Mount, the absolute pinnacle, you know, the fulcrum of the England team. You know, this is a key player. This is why every manager uses him, etc., etc. That is all PR. Not saying it's not true, but that's all PR. Everybody's played a part in this PR merry-go-round, whether it's from Mount side and the journalists, whether it's from the club side and the news that they put out. But it's just become this absolute cesspool of bullshit that's just been going round and round in circles and circles and circles in this Chelsea fan base. And to be honest, for the quality of the player, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. He's a good player. He can be a very good player. But for all of this noise, for all of this drama, it is not worth it. One day we will find out exactly what happened. At this point, I don't really care. At the end of the day, we move. We need our money. Balance our books. I told you, Manchester United fans, balance our books. Run us our money. Run us our money. And you will now run it into the Barclays bank account swiftly, efficiently, yeah, drastically. Get it done. Yeah, I want that money in quickly because we've got to spend. I said it to Flex actually this morning. Hurry up. Don't take too much time with it. And now the deal has been closed. They were going for face-to-face talks. We mentioned that on yesterday's live, as obviously the Angelo deal got done from Santos for the 18-year-old kid as well. We've just signed. So this deal face-to-face, and as soon as those face-to-face talks started, you remember, all you can eat Chelsea, I was hesitant. I was like, not really sure if this deal is really going anywhere. Seems like, you know, it's mixed reporting, conflicting. Matt Law says that Mason Mount's always wanted to stay. Manchester United won't budge on their fee. Are Chelsea trying to raise the price and put him at a price that they know nobody will pay? I think the initial asking price was around about 70 million. Are they doing that on purpose to try and, you know, drag out the deal so Pochettino can meet with him in person for preseason and maybe, you know, get some sort of contract? It was tough to tell. As soon as I heard yesterday, face-to-face talks are now on. They were initially off. Remember, Manchester United initially said, we're not doing face-to-face. We don't need to do that. Then as soon as it became, we actually will do the face-to-face, I said, you know what? This is definitely going, this is getting done now. You're not meeting up face-to-face and not getting a deal done. So, and at this point, let's get it done. Let's do business. So we're going to be going through all the comments. I know Lewis is throwing a leaving party. Listen, I'm not actually, I'm not at a toxic situation with Mount. I've said it so many times. The only player that I'll be throwing a leaving party for is Lukaku. I don't really have any, you know, I don't have any bad faith towards any of these other players. I think they're all good players. It's just that we have too many players. Circumstantial, you know, recruitment teams have come in and different points. It's changed the landscape of certain contracts. Listen, I'm not here to place blame on anyone. I don't want to call anybody a snake personally. You know, I don't believe that he desperately wanted to leave this club. There was a point where he wanted to be here. Then communication broke down. People didn't agree, as adults don't. And then suddenly now he's saying, you know what? I'm getting a lot of heat right now. I'd probably better leave. You guys don't really rate me that highly as I rate myself. I should just go. That's not a problem. You know, off you go. We're now rivals. Now we're scrapping in the game. It's not a problem. I'm happy to embrace rivalry. I don't get too emotionally attached to these guys. That's the key. It's all about the club. It's all about the crest. It's all about the badge. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm invested for. That's what's on the walls. That's what I'm wearing on the t-shirts. These players, they come and go. I'm here for the soap opera. It's like Netflix. Do you know what I mean? You guys want to go to rival clubs? No problem. I don't take that personally. You want to go to rival clubs? Go to rival clubs. At the end of the day, rival clubs are paying my bills right now. I've got overheads. I've got gas. I've got water. I've got heat. I've got electrics. And only the English clubs, not the Italian clubs, only the English clubs is paying me my peas. So go to the rivals. Go. I dare you to go to the rivals. I'm ready for war. I'm ready for the battle. I'm ready for the fight. I'm not one of these people that mind players go into rivals like that. Go. I dare you. I dare you. Do it. I dare you to do it. So listen, as long as we bring in adequate replacements, Mason Mount is not irreplaceable. Kai Havertz is not irreplaceable. We're not giving them prime Eden Hazard. We're not giving them prime Ricardo Carvalho. We're giving them good players. They could be very good players, but there's loads of very good players on this planet. So we replace these players properly. We bring in players, you know, that we rate, and we spend our P's and we move. So listen, I know Saeed is absolutely wailing in the comment section. He's not happy. Brother, I'm not even going to ring your phone because I know you got content to put out. But if you want me to ring you, DM me, message me. If you want to jump in. But listen, I'm not going to intrude. Everybody's got content to put out right now. Listen, make sure you subscribe to Saeed TV. He's in the comments. I know he's not happy. He's fuming. I told him on the Big Six, listen, I'm not doing it to take the piss. I'm not doing it to cause anybody any harm. He's a good player. You don't win player of the year if you're not a good player. No bum won player of the year, but you're going to run us our money. You're going to do it. You're going to do it with a smile on your face, Saeed. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it with any animosity, no anger. Back Ten Hag till the wheels fall off. You're going to run us our money. You're going to do it nicely with a smile on your face. Thumbs up from me. Give me my 60 million so I can reinvest. That's what I like to see. So for me personally, listen, I like the player. I thought the player had a chance under Poch. I'm not going to change my mind. I thought he would have done. I thought he could have been revived. You know, at our club, I thought he could have responded. He had one terrible season. He had one great season and 2 good seasons, right? I thought there was a chance for him. But it is what it is. It is what it is. This is life. This is what I signed up for. This is what you signed up for. When you support a football club, anything can happen. I'm not even going to tell you that Reece James will retire here. It's just not something that I'll tell you. Anything can happen in football. If we regress, if we don't go on to do the things we should do, if he keeps himself fit, Real Madrid are always going to be there. So he could end up going one day. You never know. So that's why you just got to remember that. You got to be ready for anything in this game. And I'm ready. So I'm good. Do you know what I'm saying? I've mentally already dealt with this one. This is not even for me that deep. Do you know what I mean? For me, the situation has become so toxic now. So much arguing, so much shouting, so much animosity, so much anger. No, breath of fresh air now. This season upcoming is meant to be a breath of fresh air. Nobody disgruntled. And I always said it. If he's going to stay here, he has to agree a new contract. The club have to offer him something he deems he wants. He has to maybe drop his demands a little bit. Everybody's got to come together, kumbaya, and they have to agree. Because you can't go into your last year on your contract at this club. No. We want money. You're not going into your last year. We're not running that risk of maybe you'll sign, maybe you don't. Because that's when it becomes very political. That's when the press conferences begin for Pochettino. People start asking him questions about Mount all season. Then the player's got all the power. Should he be in the starting 11? Should he not be in the starting 11? Why are we investing our time in someone that's not committed? For me, if you sign, you stay. If you don't sign, you go. That applies to every single player whose contract runs out in 2024. If your contract runs out in 2024 in the summer, either sign up or get gone. If we don't want you to sign up, then you won't be offered anything, then get gone, get sold. So it's as simple as that. This is one of the better players out of that list, in my opinion, that actually, if he had signed, I would have been happy for Mason Mount to sign. But at the end of the day, he hasn't. So it is what it is. Let's go through some of these comments now, because this is breaking news. And you know what? It's a relief at the end of the day that this situation is just resolved, man. I was getting a bit tired of this talk. It's been going on for weeks, for months. Mason Mount. There's always these select group of people that will rate him through the floorboards, generational, can't be stopped, can't be tamed. Miley Cyrus 2005. That's overblown, overhyped, too much, still developing to do, still improvements being made. Let's see if Ten Hag can get that done. And then there's the people that will take it too far and bring him down to the depths of hell and say he's a terrible player who can't do this, can't do that. The truth is somewhere in between. There's something there, but it has to be fleshed out. Let's see what's being said. We're finally free. Some people are saying people are really tired of this situation. Some people, sorry, I'm livid. Listen, you will be livid. Some of you, I'm cool. I'm calm. Some of you will be livid, right? For me, where was he going to play in the 4-2-3-1? Probably in Cuckoo's going to play in the 10. Maybe he could have been a wide, inverted winger. I don't know. But, that's not his true position. But who knows what his true position is after all of this chop and change with different managers and playing him in a front three and in a 3-4-3, all these things. Everybody says the 8. I still believe that's what I was sold. That's what I was buying into in the early days when he first broke through, when he came from Derby and Vitesse. But, we became a team that played a back 3, that changed the landscape of the formation, the system. Then he become a pressing forward. Then he become a little bit of a GA kind of player. So listen, will he go back to becoming a deeper midfielder? Who knows? Maybe he won't. Maybe he will. That's not our problem anymore. For me, I'm always going to have baseline level of respect. I'm not going to make it toxic. I'm not going to call him a snake. I don't personally think he is. I can understand exactly where the disagreement or the problem, where the problem lies in terms of the disparity of how much he should get, image rights, all of these things. A contract is a very complicated situation. People will say Reece James and Chilwell signed on a lot faster, but they don't do as much commercially as Mason Mount, So, and obviously his form as well has taken a nosedive. So that's changed the landscape. But his availability is there. So there's just so much going on there, changing of agents from father to someone else. Like I said, unless you're in the room, everybody's, in my opinion, done something wrong in some situation, in some regard. I don't feel like the club always acted in the most, fair way to say, okay, we're going to give you this contract, and then suddenly after the World Cup, we're going to take this contract away. Why was that? Why did that happen? Is that really fair? Why didn't he just sign it immediately before going to the World Cup? There's so much going on here. At the end of the day, this is the conclusion. This is what happens. So we move. Let's see. You guys are tired of this transfer being prolonged like this. For Man United fans, this is among the fastest. Listen, I'm not really. My thing with Mason Mount is I would have been more worried if he was going to Liverpool, because I can see directly how he gets into that Liverpool team and where he goes into that Liverpool team and how Liverpool play. With Manchester United, it's going to be interesting. Is it going to be a midfield three of Casemiro, Mason Mount, and Bruno Fernandes? If so, that's not the most, that's not the most first phase midfield I've ever seen in my life, considering you were looking at De Jong. It's not a midfield that I can see, dominating teams in terms of possession, bopping teams off the pitch. Ball retention doesn't scream ball retention, screams a lot of risk and some reward, but a lot of risk as well. We'll have to see. But, for me personally, again, I'm not scared. I'm not scared of him going to Manchester United. I'm not scared of Kai Havertz going to Arsenal. If I was scared, I'll tell you. I ain't afraid to tell you if I'm scared, but I'm genuinely not scared, because I think these two players can be replaced. I think there's players out there that we can bring in. If we bring in Caicedo and we have Enzo and we have Nkunku, for me, that as a three is just as appetizing, just as dangerous, just as exciting as what we had, if not more. You can say clipped all you like. Do you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with that. You go clip all over the place, all over the gaff. That's no problem with me. Clip away. Like I said, I rate the player, but I ain't scared. I'm more than happy for the fight, for the challenge. You didn't sign no prime Leon Messi or Mbappe, so it's all G. Let's see what's going on here. I'm a Chelsea fan, but we didn't up Man United by 20 million. We wanted 70 to 80. Yeah, they wanted to pay 40. Initially, they came in with 40, around about 40. We wanted 70-ish. Then it's come down to 60. I never heard 80 personally, but 60, 70. We've had to meet in the middle a little bit. But like I said, for a player with 1 year left on their contracts, for a player that reportedly, at least that is what is coming out, wants to leave. And to be honest, maybe he does want to leave now. It wouldn't really surprise me. This has been a long, drawn-out, tiring, boring process for everybody involved. He might have wanted to stay previously, but now he wants to go. Again, I ain't got no problem with that. So listen, we've got a great fee out of this. 60 million for Mason Mount. Even when he's playing at his best, I don't think he's one of those players that really start to jump any higher than an 80 million. And that is at his absolute peak. That is when he's playing at his best. I would say 80. So for 60, when he's in his worst form this season and he's got 1 year left, I think we've done very well. I never think he's going to become this 100, 110, 20, 30 million pound player unless inflation goes crazy. But he just, for me, doesn't strike me as that type of player that I would pay that amount of money for, purely because there's other players like him that do take tactical information very well, that do work very hard, that do contribute to the final third. But he's not one of these once in a lifetime ballers that I'm going to go and, put 100+ million on. So for me personally, I don't think his skill set is that rare. I think it's great that he has it, but I don't think it's that rare. I think there's got to be a ceiling to how much you pay for a player like this. But let's see. We made a hell of a lot of money this window, boys. Let me just say that. I was panicking, and rightly so, I feel like, because listen, a couple of weeks ago, there was nothing done before I went to New York. But now, damn, we're rolling in the money. Do you know what I mean? But we need to be sensible with it. We've got all this money coming in. Now we need to make sure that we use it wisely. And don't overdo it. Don't overdo it. There's a lot to learn about the season upcoming, about the new manager, about the development of certain players. There's no need to splash all this cash that we just made right now. You can use a little bit in January. You can use a lot of it next summer. Once you learn about the team that we're putting together, that we're trying to shrink the numbers down to, there's no need to go crazy. Let's not do retail therapy. This isn't Central C. There's no need to go out there now and spend 100 million on this. Like, no. Calma, guys. We have signed some really good young players at the cheapest rate possible, right? To develop and kick them on and triple and quadruple their worth, for them to play at us. We're not RB Leipzig. We ain't selling these guys at a profit if they make it to the top. If we do that, then we're a feeder club. The point is we bought them low and we want to build them up. So listen, we got a lot of potential in the ranks. I'm trying to see it. Brilliant business so far, I can't lie. There's a lot of lessons being learned from last summer, from even January. Listen, we so far having a really strong window. I was waiting to see these sales. I was calling on these multiple directors to get deals done because there is a lot of you and you are all paid to get a job done for us, which is to move people on. We have a lot of players to move on. Your job is to move those players on. And let's be honest, I am now happy to tell you, and you are happy to tell me, that Matisse, they're getting shit done. Yeah, they're getting shit done. And thank God they are, because it was absolutely necessary. So when we go through this sale list now, and we will, you know, we're going to start counting up our money. We're going to start counting up our notes on what we've got. And it's looking good, people. You know what I mean? We're getting good money for these players. We're getting good wages off the books. Mason Mount wasn't really on that many wages. This is also straight profit as well, because he's obviously homegrown. We don't have a homegrown issue. We have a lot of homegrown talent still at the club. I'm looking at Gallagher side-eye. What's going to happen with him, we'll see. But we've got Levi Colwell. You know, we've got Reece James. We've got Ben Chilwell. We've got, you know, Sterling and Broya and so many others as well. Lewis Hall, etc. Carney. So if you're worried about homegrown talents, don't be, because there's plenty of homegrown talents. Now, let me just take a look at these sales if they're going to come up for me now. Well, I don't think FFP is going to be a problem, ladies and gentlemen. I think we in the clear. So Cover sold to Man City, 25 million. Plus, was it 5 million add-ons? I think 25 million. Then you got Kai Havertz, 65 million. Arsenal already done. So we're let's just roughly say, listen, we're almost at 100 million there. Then you've got Koulibaly, you've got Mendy. That takes us well above the 100 million mark. Kante off the wages as well. He was on a good, what, 300K a week, 300 and something K off the wages. And Koulibaly, another 300K. So we've definitely already got basically $1 million off the wages as well. Plus about nearly, if not now 200 million, I'd say, banked up from this Mount sale. So 200 million in the bank, $1 million minimum off the wage books. It's been really productive so far. Everybody that's coming in is on a much lesser wage. Let's go through some of these little updates and tweets. There's lots going on. Fabrizio, all these things. So I'm just going to quickly roll through these. I'm going through all these comments as well. Let me know what you're thinking. 208 million. It's been calculated roughly. I'm just say roughly in sales raised. Mendy, 16 million. Koulibaly, 19 million, 20. Ziyech, 8 million. Some of these figures I'm not 100% sure on, but roughly 200, I'm just going to say. Cover, 25 million. Kante, 3. Havertz, 65. Mount, 60. Loftus-Cheek, 15. Now, this is exactly what I expect, because these players are not bums. There's nobody on that list that is a terrible player or a bad player. Mendy is a good goalkeeper. I would have actually preferred to keep Mendy and sell Kepa. Personally, I think Kepa, in terms of what he makes and what he earns weekly, he's not worth it. And obviously what he cost annually, he's not worth it. So for me, Mendy's better value for money. I would have kept Mendy over Kepa, but it is what it is. You have to deal with the cards you're dealt. Koulibaly, not a bad player, but we had to get our money there. We got Levi Colwell coming through. Ziyech, not a bad player, but I never wanted him personally. I got sick and tired of him. Very predictable player. We got our money. That's below market value, by the way. 8 million for Ziyech with 2 years left on your contract. If that's the actual fee, some people in the chat for All You Can Eat Chelsea were telling me 12 to 15. If we have got that for Ziyech, that's below market value. So this is bare minimum shit I'm talking about right now, because this guy's contract was expiring in 2025. He's not a terrible player to be coming. I mean, look at that fee. It's championship clubs dealing with fees more than that. So this is bare minimum shit. Cover, you could say, again, yeah, a year left, but that's a great player. That's a World Cup, starter for Croatia next to Modric. That's a top midfielder in European football. 25 million is the bare minimum you should be looking at for a player like that in his prime. Kante, we didn't even get no money for. Can't tell me he's worth nothing, but his contract expired. Kai Havertz, listen, I think personally they're slightly overpaid, but they're buying on longevity there. Obviously, we took a slight hit. I think we paid 72 million, but that's amortized. 65 is a great return. We almost completely made all our money back there. Mason Mount, 60 million, 1 year left. Again, not a terrible player. Loftus-Cheek, 15. I think that's good value for money. I think Loftus-Cheek, 15 million is good value. So that is what you'd expect. You'd expect to make 200 million, because that's a good crop of players there. There's no terrible players. The analogy that I was thinking about last night in regards to our business and our dealings is none of these players are terrible players. It's like Chelsea are almost a terrible class, right? If you include the manager, over the past year, the players, it's a bad classroom. It's a bad class. It's a terrible bunch of people put together, and they've just caused chaos. They're dashing rulers, robbers. They're calling out wrong names for the register. It's a terrible class. But when you take individuals out of those classes and you send them out, you tell them, yo, listen, you're sent out. You go and stand outside in the hall. Do you know what I mean? Go and stand outside the class. That's basically what this is. Everybody in this list has been sent out. Everybody has been sent out to stand outside the class. And if you misbehave too much and you finish 12th, you end up completely moved class. You're not coming back to the class. You're getting moved to set 1. You're gonna go and sit in there for a week or two. Come out of the drama. They're good kids. These are good people. These are good players. They're still recoverable. All of these clubs that have picked up these players, they can get great things from them. That doesn't mean that I have to regret it. That doesn't mean you have to regret it. We had to get rid of players. They're not bad eggs, but together they were a mess. Too many of them as well. So for me personally, they're all recoverable. You guys be happy. Be very happy with the business you're doing, signing all these players, man. But for me, I need this class condensed because I can't teach this many people at once. There's too many people. There's too many people in this class. I can't teach. I got people sitting outside playing PSP, playing Nintendo DS. People ain't listening to instruction. People don't understand the team talk. People don't understand what we're learning today. It's time to go. Yeah, it's time to go. It's time to condense and bring that class size down. So that's what we're doing. Doesn't mean that these are bad pupils. It is what it is. Let's go into some quotes, some extra little things going through now. I think POS is tweeting like crazy right now. Let's see. Chelsea have raised 125 million from the sales of Mount and Kai Havertz. Hopefully this gets, I want to see the announcements. Roll the announcements tomorrow. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Get these announcements out tomorrow. I want this all done, wrapped up. So yeah, brilliant. Let's move. I think Fabrizio has been kicking off. So let me just see what he's been saying, if he's adding any extra context to this news right now. Big up everybody in the chat. I can see there's a lot of different mixed emotions. Some people, listen, this is a Cobham product, right? And a Cobham product that performed. Whether people like it or not, when you pay absolutely nothing, you got a lot for Mason Mount. You got a lot of value for money. He was not on a high wage. He delivered you a couple player of the year performances. He gave you goals. He gave you assists. He gave you output. He gave you versatility. He gave you availability. Let's not be disrespectful. As a fan base, I think we can be a lot better. Me, myself included. We are a very toxic fan base right now. We need to calm the hell down. And now that Felix is gone, and now that Jorginho gone, and Mason Mount's not here, and Declan Rice isn't signing, I'm praying and hoping to God, that these little tribal cesspools of fandom can stop for players, and we can just get to a team kind of thing now. Let's go back to being a team, all as one unison, not these little player riff and raffs. Hopefully, that's what I hope for this fan base, because these players have been very kind of they've been very toxic for the fan base for quite some time, and I don't blame the players for that. I think a lot of the time when people speak on these players, they drag the players into what has been created around them. I don't blame Mount. I don't blame Jorginho. I don't blame these players for the stands that they have created, these cesspool of stands that have formed, that have birthed based on what they've done on the football pitch. It's not their fault. They didn't set up these accounts, but then people start to hate the player because of obviously what is surrounded around them. So I just hope that shit comes to an end, because I'm kind of tired of it. Like I said, everybody gonna get their equal praise and criticism on this channel, same way. It is what it is. So yeah, nothing really extra from Fabrizio. He gave the here we go 43 minutes ago. Personal terms agreed, face-to-face talks prevailed, never left the race. It just goes to show that BS that was put out about Manchester United moving on to Caicedo as a fresh target and stepping away from Mason Mount because of the deal being difficult was absolute waffle. And I knew it from the moment I saw it, because listen, Caicedo, he's more expensive to start with, but they know we're interested in Caicedo. So it only makes sense for them to go and try and, leave a couple doubts that, hey, if you don't give us what we want, then we're going to take what you want. And it's normal practice in business. It really is. And then the negotiation begins. So, I mean, they still end up paying what we want anyway. So I'm not really sure what all the fuss was about. I was expecting Man United to get this done for 55, the way they were carrying on. The fact that they're paying 60 anyway just makes me kind of laugh. But it is what it is. So yeah, this is all done. Medicals, fixed fee, 5 million on add-ons, 2028. The contract, 5 years for Mason Mount. he is now going to be a Manchester United player. Let's go through some of these comments. The same waffle of Bayern going in for Mount. Again, it's all PR. It's all to kind of, you know, push things through and put pressure on people. Havertz to bang. Please get Caicedo now. There's no excuse for not getting Caicedo. The money's there. The space is there in the squad. July is a couple of days away if they're waiting for certain dates, for certain fees and transactions to translate into other years, whatever. I don't know. Get shit done now. Caicedo needs to get done. Personal terms have been agreed. There should be no problem. In terms of Mason Mount, we're losing a lot of goals. Yes, but in Cuckoo's coming in, he's going to add a lot of goals. You know, when we talk about the fact that we did these deals in January, they were pre-agreed deals. Enzo is a deal that we done early doors. If we didn't do that Enzo deal in January, in the position that we're currently in right now in 12th, we would never be able to get Enzo. I think Enzo would be a Real Madrid player. That's the level of player I think he is. That's how highly I rate him. So we had to get him early. We had to go into Rui Costa's office, speak Portuguese, and get deals done, and leave no stone unturned, and make sure that we board that flight with Enzo in our back pocket, and that's what we did. In Cuckoo, you could say it's a similar situation. You could say it's a bargain in the end to get that deal done, and that replaces the likes of Mount and Kai Havertz. A lot of people feel like we don't have replacements. Newsflash: we replaced. We already replaced before we even sold them. You know, Enzo has replaced a lot of the midfield outgoings in terms of a Jorginho obviously left, a Cover as well, because you'd say Cover's an 8, Enzo's an 8. We've replaced. And the same applies here. And Cuckoo's going to be the 10. He's going to be the player that plays behind the forward. It's exactly the same position that Mason Mount and that Kai Havertz were going to play. The truth of the situation is that most likely, potentially, especially if he didn't sign a new deal, Mason Mount and Kai Havertz could have been depth pieces in this squad next season. You're not going to sit here and tell me Mason Mount is an out-and-out first-choice right winger. You're not going to tell me he's an out-and-out first choice in a midfield pivot, double pivot with Enzo sticking in there, and then you've got a DM. And you're not going to tell me he's out-and-out to start ahead of Nkuku. And the same applies to Kai Havertz. So these guys are depth pieces right now. I'm not saying in previous years, of course, they've been critical pieces. But right now, as at the current, the current moment, what we're dealing with, they are rotation pieces in our squad. They're depth pieces. If they play well, they start. If they don't play well, they're benched. They're not key. So listen, their contributions have been key, but right now with what we have brought in, they're not critical. So I'm not really going crazy about, you know, cashing in on 65, 60 million on rotational pieces in the squad. Let's see. Our squad is 2 injuries away now from crisis. Listen, there will be players coming in though. That's the thing. We know that we're going to be bringing in midfielders, but you know, we had to get players off the books first. We need a dressing room of players who want to focus on playing for the club. How can we be successful if little clicks, people trying to leave? Come on now, guys, be honest with yourselves. Let's see what else is being said. Big up everybody inside. Make sure you smash up the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. We still have another month. Listen, the absolute, let me just say this, right? In terms of panic, in terms of things being critical, the only thing that was a rush was outgoings. Now, couple key targets like Caicedo, yes, I'm in a rush because he's in high demand. If we don't get him and he goes somewhere else, the drop-off is quite big, potentially to the next target. But in terms of critical, this has to happen ASAP, is outgoings. The last thing we needed for Pochettino was for him to arrive on July the 1st, preseason starts, and he's got a bunch of unhappy players or a bunch of players who don't know their future. You remember the last day of the season, people are scratching their heads, walking around, don't know what's going on the last day at Stamford Bridge. They don't know whether to wave goodbye or to say, don't know what's happening. Maybe sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Sometimes I'll stay, sometimes I'll go. Bro, I don't need that indecisive shit going on in preseason. Preseason is about training. Preseason is about systems, about working, getting to work, playing matches, building up fitness and getting ready for the season. It's not about negotiations. It's not about you catch a flight, but you're not really staying here. No, it's not about that. It's not about that. So we needed to clear this squad, and ruthlessly. And thankfully, we've managed to get some good fees in here as well. But I did not need Pochettino coming in early doors, dealing with drama. And there's still quite a few players to get rid of. Still quite a few players to get rid of. You know, Hudson-Odoi is still here. Lukaku is still here. Pulisic is still here. Aubameyang is still here. You know, Azpilicueta is not done, but listen, he'll get his contract mutually terminated and he'll be on his way. There's still deals to be done. This was the bare minimum I needed done. I said it on All You Can Eat Chelsea when I left for New York. I needed minimum 7, 8 deals looking like done before I get back, man. I need these deals done because you can only do so many deals at once. All of these deals have lawyers. All of these deals have contracts. All of these deals have agents. All of these deals have other clubs and negotiations and terms and conditions, and everything has to be read and make sure that you go through everything with a fine comb so you don't get mugged off. So in order to do these deals properly, you have to get them done one at a time, but you have to get them done. Otherwise, they're all going to stack up on the desk. Next thing you know, it's going to be an absolute mess. So for me personally, this was the bare minimum that needed to be done, and we getting it done, man. We getting it done. Who will be the new captain? Who will be the new captain? I mean, listen, the contenders, Thiago Silva is out there. How good is his English? You know, that's the question. Enzo has been given a lot of flowers by Frank Lampard for his leadership qualities, but I think it's way too early to give him captaincy, considering he's only been here for 6 months. You've got Reece James, but of course he is quite injury prone. If he can stay fit, then he can be a contender. But again, you know, he's not a reliable person in terms of availability right now. So yes, captaincy is definitely a question. I don't want it to be Kepa. I know he got the armband a couple of times. For me, the armband needs to go to a high performer. You need to be one of the top players in the team. I can't have my captain making mistakes. I can't have my captain sometimes being a liability. Everybody can get things wrong. Everybody can make mistakes. But on a consistent basis, I need you to be performing. How are you going to be leading the team if you're not really all that? So for me personally, it's got to be one of the top players that perform, give you minimum 8 out of 10 week in, week out. Because I'm not trying to have a captain that's got mistakes in his game. I'm not trying to have a captain that can't cross-collect, that can concede shots that maybe shouldn't be conceded from distance in regards to Kepa. That can't run. That's not a commanding, authoritative figure. If you can't command crosses, how the hell are you going to command the dressing room? Let's be real now. Let's not be silly. If you can't command crosses, how are you commanding the dressing room? We're not doing that. So for me personally, it's got to be one of the top performers, one of the top players. People are saying Sterling again. Nope. It's just not got any captain-like characteristics for me. I'm not seeing that. I know he's got experience, but I'm not seeing that. He's quite a withdrawn, quiet character from what I see. Quite a, you know, he's not outspoken. I don't see that. And even on the pitch, I just don't see that leadership. I see that I do my job, I handle my business, but I'm not seeing that personally. So yeah, let's see. But people are gonna feel the way they feel. But yeah, man, listen, that's the job. That's the job done. Yes, I've seen. Listen, he's been linked with Liverpool. For me personally, I'm not sure right now. I'd like to kind of take a breather and get this Caicedo deal done. I think that's a priority. I think the secondary attacking midfielder behind Nkunku / wide player, if you're looking for a player that can play off the right as well to give you a bit of winger depth, if you're not really too sure on giving one of those younger players that we've signed, all these young players we've signed in the wing position as a fourth choice. If you don't want to do that, then you're looking at maybe a Kudus type player. I personally would prefer that over just a strict number 10 because, like I said, you never know when we're going to change system. Right now, we're looking at a 4-2-3-1 with all of these box-to-box midfielders like Carney's and Cassidy's and you know, Andre Santos's. One day we may switch to a 4-3-3. So, you know, you never know. So for me personally, it would be nice to have the versatility there. Someone that can play, you know, in two positions or so, and to a high level. When I speak about players like this, I don't want a jack of all trades. I'm talking about, for instance, your Bernardo Silva talents, where they can play on the right wing, they can play in the 10, and they play both to an elite level because the attributes are there. I'm not talking about, you know, players that just, you know, like we played Gallagher one time, right wing. He actually had a good game. I think it was at home to Tottenham, but I ain't trying to see that shit too often. So for me, I ain't trying to see it. I am describing Enzo, I am, but also Enzo just comes. So it's a little bit, it's not a guarantee, just give it to Enzo. But listen, he's a contender, but he already just come through the door. So it's a little bit of a sticky one. So yeah, it's a sticky one, but it is what it is. We'll see who gets it. We're short-handed in the number 10, definitely the backup. I've seen a lot of people talking about a Cherky as well. Listen, Very talented player, both footed. I think off the ball work rate, though, I don't really think it matches up with what Poch does. But listen, the talent's there. I bought him on FIFA. He was very good. But people are saying we don't have 10s. I'm not sure. Listen, I don't think André Santos's long-term, future is as a 10, a traditional 10. He is a box-to-box midfielder who can score goals. Cassidy is also probably one of those players that you want to have in the box, right? He scores a lot of goals, it seems. I'm not saying he's not a midfielder, but he's one of those players that right now, at a young age, he's showing he can be a threat in the box from an aerial standpoint. And the one thing I have a slight worry with our strikers, and I mean Jackson, is then from an aerial standpoint, they're not very efficient right now. There's a lot of improvements to be made. And we know we're a very good team at crossing the ball. When you take a look at Reece James, when you even look at Gusto coming in, we're going to be putting crosses into the box. I would like a player in the box that can head the ball. So André Santos has shown he can head the ball. Cassidy has shown he can head the ball. But if they're actually going to be in the box to begin with, then you're probably going to have to play them fairly high up the pitch as a second striker /10. So they may not be your traditional 10, but much like Dele Alli, he wasn't your traditional 10 under Pochettino. He was a bit of a ghoster, but he ghosted into the box and he got goals. So when people talk about a number 10 and they say, oh, we need a 10, yes, from a creativity standpoint, from a passing standpoint, you could say maybe we need a 10. But from an actual standpoint of Pochettino maybe using, goal scoring 10s, we do have quite a few young options that we have not given any consideration to in preseason, which is why I say for me personally, it's not an absolute urgency. I'm not trying to rush. Give them an opportunity in preseason. If they impress you, then you might just find diamond in the dirt. If not, then next thing you know, we can move later on in the window. But I don't really see this as something that we have to get done right now. I'm personally looking at the Caicedo deal as priority. Even goalkeeper is a priority for me, but it seems like Pochettino wants to keep Kepa. I don't know if that's true or not, because initially he wanted Martinez from Aston Villa. Now, next thing you know, Kepa's the first choice. I don't know what's going on. So it's a bit all over the place. So yeah, that's the Mason Mount situation. I don't wish him luck. I'm on my Ruthless bag, okay? You're going to Manchester United. I said the same thing with Kai Havertz. I do not wish you well at Manchester United. I don't wish you to play well. I don't wish you to perform. It's done. Chelsea chapter's closed. You're now playing for the rival. You're playing for the op. When we roll up to Old Trafford, when they roll up to the bridge, it's on site. Yeah, the tackles are going in. People are going in with everything, more than you can believe. So I'm not leaving anything on the table. All right, I'm only here for Chelsea players when they play for us. That's what. If you're not playing for Chelsea, then I'm not. It's none of my business, to be honest. It's none of my business. Absolutely none of my business. Let's see what's being said. Can we listen? I don't know what we can do, man. I don't know what we can do. Oh. How are Man United fans feeling in the comments? Let me know, because, I'm seeing reactions. Listen, it's up to each individual to boo. I'm not really asked. Do you know what I mean? If it helps them perform poorly in the game, boo them. You know what I mean? For me personally, I don't have any animosity. I only really boo things I dislike. I don't dislike Mason Mount at all. I don't dislike Kai Havertz at all. This is strictly business. You're going into your last year. You're not signing. We need to sell you. We move, right? I have no problem with these guys. These guys are good players. It didn't work out for different reasons. For me, Mason Mount, from a performance standpoint, I'm very happy with what he gave us when we didn't pay anything for him. He had one bad season. I was more than willing, and I was actually favoring keeping him. Personally, I would have been happy to keep him under Poch. Kai Havertz, I wanted to leave. But for me personally, like I said, and I say that a lot, it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Do you know what I mean? We move. Let's see. and you know what the thing is, and we've said it before, a lot of these players that have broken through in their, a lot of these players that have broken through in the transfer ban era, the Mason Mounts, the Tammy Abrahams, the Tomoris, these players, they got a taste of first team football. Their brands, got a taste for first team football. Week in, week out playing, because that's where they started at Chelsea. They came in and they started games immediately. They were starting, right? Mason Mount came in, he played like 30, how many games did he play? Was it 32 starts in the Premier League or something like that? These guys came in and they played matches. They didn't come in slowly, rotational. It's not like a Phil Foden, where Think about this. Phil Foden is more than happy at the moment to be a rotational piece at Manchester City. A, because they're winning, but B, because he was never a starter in the first place. When you build the expectation of you're a starter, you know, it's very difficult for you now to drop to a rotational player. You know, your mental state is gearing up for games week in, week out. That's the way you're programmed. That's the way that you play. That's the way that you've kind of been developed. You know, you're in the England squad now. You know, you've got all these brand deals. You're a big guy. You're a big name. You can't always go to being a rotational player after doing that. And all these players have gone on to be starters at their other clubs. AC Milan, Roma, now Man United. He's going to be a starter at that price. It is, you know, that's just the way it goes. In his first season, 1920, was it, right? He played 37 Premier League games, 36, then 32. This season just gone was his lowest tally for games played. That's because he got injured with 24. Mason Mount is used to playing matches. I just told you there, he's not necessarily a starter in my team next season. I'm happy to have you in the squad. You can fight for your place, but you're not necessarily a starter because I got Nkunku now. I got Enzo, who's an 8, and I got hopefully Caicedo. That's my midfield. Brother, if you were happy to be a rotational, then you could stay. If you don't want to be a rotational, then hey, that's another factor as to why you might have to go. So I love to have quality depth, but those players have to want to be part of that depth and part of that rotation. And you know, otherwise, if they don't want to be part of it, having quality players as depth, but they don't want to be that depth, very unlikely they're gonna want to make an impact because they're already in a mental state where they're not happy. If you're going to be a super sub, if you're going to be someone that impacts and be part of a team game and a squad, first and foremost, you have to be accepting of that role. You have to be happy to do that role. Yes, you want to push yourself. Yes, you want to, you know, be a starter, but you also have to be comfortable with the situation. If you're not, you're disgruntled, you're angry, you're probably not going to come in and perform. You look at one of the best super subs out there was Chicharito at Manchester United. That guy knew his job every single season from the get-go. He was a bench player for Man United and Rooney behind Van Persie. And every time this brother came on for Manchester United, he affected the game, he scored goals, and he did his job. So, you know, you have to have a mindset with it. Let's see. He'll go to Man United. He has to go and prove himself all over again. He does. The pressure's on. You know, under the lights at Old Trafford, the theatre of dreams, it ain't easy. There's a lot of big money talents that have gone over there, i.e. Sancho, and have struggled. I don't know what Ten Hag's plan is for him. We'll see. I don't know what he's cooking. But, you know, I'm looking forward to analysing it on the watch-alongs and seeing. I'll be watching many Man United games. I'll be watching many Arsenal games. We're going to be covering all the games like we did last season. We're going to be doing it for the full season. I'm gonna see what he's cooking. I'm gonna see what they're cooking. I'm gonna see. But one thing with these two players that they have a similarity is that they don't have a rubber stamp position right now. You know, you can say that they're zones that they should be in. You know, you could say maybe Mason Mount left, top of the left midfield box. If you used to make a box, you could say Mount at the top of the left side of the box. You could say Kai Havertz at the top of the right side of the box. Not as first phase, but as final third. That's as far as you could take it. You know what I mean? It's still to be determined because they've been moved around so much as a striker, winger. Right now, even in their own head, they're a little bit messed up as to where they should play. They haven't played anywhere consistently in a certain position for quite some time. So they've been versatile players for us. So let's see what these lot are cooking. If they come good, you know, people always say if players come good. If players come good and we are shit, of course I'm going to be annoyed. The whole reason why Mohamed Salah and Kevin De Bruyne people are so angry is because we're not winning Premier League titles, right? That's why these examples are used. Kevin De Bruyne, if he goes to Manchester City and plays brilliantly, but Chelsea are also playing brilliantly and we're battling with Manchester City for titles and we're sharing and caring, it's not a big deal. Same applies to Mohamed Salah. The reason why these two players are mentioned is because they're playing for the two top performing teams in this country for the last 5-6 years. They're picking up trophies. That's why it's such a regret, because we don't have organization, planning, and we don't replace properly. Also, you know, they're top players. If these guys become top players, but we replace them with top players, and then we build and we win things, it's not going to be so much of a regret. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a us versus you. We scrap. We see who wins. That's not a problem. So, you know, we just need to make sure that we actually do our business properly. We need to make sure we recruit. We handle our business. If we do that, then we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Why haven't you bid for Caicedo yet? I'm not sure. But listen, this deal is done now. This money's coming in. Once this money comes in, I'm really expecting the bid now because that's 200 million in the door. Let's get the roughly 80 million deal done for Caicedo and we can keep it moving. So, you know, there's the excuses will run out. Again, maybe we're just handling business right now. Let's understand this. There's been a lot of movement on Chelsea right now. There's a lot of outgoings. There's been a lot of movement, right? The Saudi deals, they get done. The Mason Mount, Kai Havertz deal, they're big deals we've been negotiating back and forth. They get done. We've been agreeing personal terms with Caicedo for weeks. And then after the fact, we go into the Brighton office with Bloom and we negotiate because we know Bloom and we know Brighton. They don't play around. It's going to be a fun day when we go into that office to negotiate if we haven't done already. But we're going to go in there now with full focus on that deal. We ain't got too many other things working on in the background. So, you know, if you're doing things one at a time, I am happy with the order you're doing it in. I prefer you to get the outgoings done first so we clear and cleanse the squad. And also so we don't get we don't get disrespected, because if we bring in Caicedo and we have 80 million out the door before we have the 200 million in, then people are putting us even more pressure now to sell. And they're saying, oh, we're going to lowball you. So because we haven't spent anything yet, we're getting players out and we're getting the best money we can. It's not as you know, the other clubs don't have they've already got a little bit of wiggle room with us and license because we are working on a clock and we do want to get this done quickly. Their contracts are running out, so we don't want to give them more by, you know, splashing 200 million first, then trying to do outgoings before pre-season. Now imagine we did it the other way around. We splashed 200 million, bring in 2, 3, 4 players. Now we've got 50 players for pre-season instead of 40. And then, you know, instead of 45, we now got 50 players for preseason. And then throughout preseason, we're doing outgoings and people are leaving training camp early, distractions. Players are gossiping. Instead of at Kepa's wedding, they're doing it in our preseason when we're meant to be focused. No, I prefer it this way around. This is the way to do it. So I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this. All right, let's go through these comments. Am I on a farm? No, listen, it's a community. The community, as Grizz would say, the community is community. Do you know what I mean? There's people outside playing. It is what it is. I think the window's open. It's mad hot. I had to get some air in this room. Loftus-Cheek deal is done. Lovely stuff. Lovely jubbly. Let me take a look. Fabrizio, you're telling me, has tweeted. Loftus-Cheek, another bit of money in my bank account. Run me my money. Balance my books. Loftus-Cheek has signed a contract to AC Milan. Player statement to follow. Second signing of the summer for AC Milan on one more outgoing in a busy week for Chelsea. The money just keeps pouring in. Ladies and gentlemen. And a lot of money is pouring in on players that are on high wages. Loftus-Cheek was on £150,000 a week, and he is probably 4th or 5th choice centre midfielder. That is a good bit of money to get off the books, right? And now we've got high potential young talents replacing those players in the depth positions. It's a bit of a risk because obviously they're inexperienced, but if you develop and coach them right, which we hopefully will with this manager, then the potential is high. And with Loftus-Cheek, again, I don't even need to say it. This is the one player I think that's leaving, along with Kante and probably Mendy, that nobody has any qualms. This guy he gave everything. More than you can believe, guys. He gave everything. He left everything on the table, Loftus-Cheek. This guy, big injury. Didn't leave, didn't want to go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Do you know what I'm saying? This guy just wanted to make it at Chelsea. And I applaud that. You know, he just would not stop giving up the goose chase. And to be honest, this guy could have easily been a starting level midfielder for us if he didn't get injured, man. If Sarri as well maybe didn't go, he had a lot of faith in him. The start in that season with Hazard was nasty. The performances were beautiful. The turns, the flicks, the nutmegs, the little give and goes, the 1-2s, the link-ups, the curlers into the top corners, the goals in the Europa League. Loftus-Cheek was a real talent. He was looking like a real talent. He was looking like a starter in the midfield for the next decade if he didn't get that injury, man. But, you know, unfortunate circumstances. And then, you know, after that, you know, we buy players, obviously, and he falls down the pecking order and he never really gets back to that level. Maybe you could say again, you know, people say Kai Havertz didn't really get his enough chances in the position that he is best in, right? We didn't build the team around Kai Havertz. We had Mason Mount and we had Kai Havertz. We tried to throw both of them into a 4-3-3. It was an imbalanced midfield. We started leaking shots under Lampard, etc., etc. You know, we never played Kai Havertz as a 10 with a double pivot behind him of defensive attributes. It was always a cover, and, you know, I'm talking about real sturdy double pivot that allows this man to just be free. There's context for everybody. Everybody can have their excuses and context. Loftus-Cheek, how many times has he played in a three-man midfield since the injury? Not too much. But again, at the end of the day, we can't go around in circles, you know, maybe this year, maybe this year, maybe this year with this player, this player, this player. Time moves on and we have to move on. We can't keep going around in circles with these players. We don't have the conditions for them. They don't have the conditions for us. We have to move on, keep it stepping. So again, no regrets. I'm happy that he's been sold. I said it. There's no space. Gusto's come in. We got 2 right backs now. You know, he was playing right wing back. That's no problem. But now we got Gusto. We really don't need him. So out he goes. I'm happy for him to get first team football, man. It's necessary for him. He's of that age now where you've tried your best to make it at Chelsea and be a starter, but it's time for you to get your minutes under your belt. Iceman still crying in the chat. Listen, I don't really know why you're crying, brother. We've already you shouldn't even be mentioning Lukaku in your mouth anymore, because after that Champions League final, I think we all agreed, you know, that conversation is muddied. Do you know what I mean? That performance was disgusting and horrific. So that's it now. My eyes are seeing clearly now. It's over. So for you, I don't want to hear this Lukaku nonsense anymore. You're lucky I don't mute the word in my live chat. Give Colwell, give us who? I don't know what's going on there. Let's see what else is being said. Big up everybody in the chat. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed. 1.5K of you in the building. It ain't no joke. It ain't no joke. This is crazy today, man. More outgoings. 2 outgoings now. That's confirmed. And now we move. Who else is still to be moved on? Let's not forget. Let's not anybody get away with nothing. Aubameyang, where are you going? Where are you going, my brother? I think we rejected a bid from Galatasaray. I'm trying to see movement on that ASAP. Yeah, he needs to be moving. He needs to be gone. So Aubameyang, don't know why we're not hearing anything, but it's time to open up your ears. I'm trying to see movement, so he needs to go. Lukaku, goes without saying, needs to be gone. Aspie, mutual contract termination, no problem. Who else have we got? Gallagher. You know, I'm still here. Respectfully. I'm still here, man. I'm still here. Who else is there? Pulisic, Ziyech is not confirmed. Hudson-Odoi, 3 wingers. Gone. All 3 of you. It's time to hit the bricks. Do you know what I'm saying? Get going. Pack up your bags. Toothbrush, towels, all them deodorants, everything. Pack up your bags and off you go. Those 3 wingers need to be packing up. So that's another 3. So we're talking about now 2 strikers, 3 wingers. We're talking 5 midfield. Gallagher, I'm gonna leave him out of this for now, just because, you know, we got to bring in midfielders. Fee agreed for Timber. Listen, Baba Rahman, Malang Sarr go without saying. If anything, these are straight releases, straight contract terminations if deals don't get done for them. I'm not really trying to see loan deals. For me personally, I'm just trying to see these guys go. I will sell Matson. I would love to keep Matson, extend his contract, loan him out. I personally feel like one of Chilwell, Cucurella. Hey, what's all this palaver outside? I'm trying to work. I'm trying to run a show. Can we have some grace and decorum, please? God damn, shit. Amari Hutchinson will probably go out on loan. Baba Rahman's got to be released. Yeah. There's nobody gonna sell him. Nobody gonna get money for this guy. This is some incredible business. Matt Miazga don't even with us no more. Stop mentioning. People said Matt Miazga and Romeo and all. Listen, it's time. The community is wild. It's time for the likes of Baba Rahman to be released. Malang Sarr is on a long contract. I don't know what you can get for him, but you know, even if it's a little 5 million, I think we signed him on a free. That's profit. Let's get it done. So again, he's got to go. I never mentioned Felix's name since he left. See, Iceman's just a crybaby. This brother just cries. Why are you crying, bro? The season's not even started. Why are you crying? Hey. Anybody on this channel, come on, back me up. Chat. Have I even mentioned Felix coming back? Since Felix left, have I even mentioned Felix coming back? Or have I just moved on? I ain't got no stand in me. I've even got Felix's shirt. I took that gamble because he could have stayed, right? I ain't even mentioned him come back. Not once. Because I don't give a damn. Do you know what I mean? Pochettino said he doesn't want him, so he's gone. That's it. A lot of people are saying, oh, Felix should come back, be one of our 10s. If Pochettino doesn't want him, I'm not shelling out 80 million for a player that my manager doesn't want. As much as I like the player, I still like the player, I still rate the player. But if Pochettino doesn't want him, if he's not in his plans, I'm not justifying 80 million on a second choice or a second choice 10. I'm not going to tell you that. Or a rotational 10. It's great depth if everybody's happy with it. But if you're not happy with it, I'm not telling you 80 million on that is necessary. So no, even me, with the number on my shirt, with the name, everything, I took the maximum risks. Even me, I ain't even talking about it no more because I ain't no Stan. I'm not asked. We move. There's other players out there. So yeah, man, I'm not one of them ones. Let's see what's going on. Big up Lewis in the chat. Let's see. Big up, brother. I'm justifying 80 million on a backup 10. I ain't. I would listen. I personally would love to keep Felix. I would have loved to have kept him because for the right price. I'm not splashing 80 million, but I would have loved to have kept him on another loan, you know, because I did see signs in the player. Some people were saying I'm biased and etc., but I can see quality in the player. I can see talent, and I can see something. We're working with something here. The confidence levels were there from the beginning. Got sent off, but he's nutmegging people. He's hitting crossbars. He's hitting posts. He's a little bit unlucky. I think the output was there. I'm not saying he's going to get you 20 goals, but I saw some output. But again, like I said, it ain't down to me, and I ain't going against Poch on that one. I'm not that arsed. What's the latest on the goalkeeper situation? The latest on the goalkeeper situation is that there is no goalkeeper. It seems like Kepa is going to be the first choice next season. I personally disagree with that decision. I have been watching Kepa for years. I do not rate Kepa as a first choice for us. I don't even rate him as a second choice for us because I personally do believe he is not worth the money weekly to be a second choice. If you're going to be making 150 to 180 bags a week, you have to be starting matches and then you have to be a top goalkeeper, which he is not. So for me personally, I would like to sell Kepa and I would like to bring in a top goalkeeper. I like either of the keepers at the Milan clubs, but listen, if we're not going to go for them, then that's disappointing. It seems like Onana's not even he's not even that expensive. I don't know why Inter Milan are quoting us something different to Manchester United. If Onana's available for 50 to 55 million euros, which is what keeps coming out in the news, then why are we getting quoted something different? Why is it when we go in for Onana, we're getting told 70 million? Especially when we've been robbed, fleeced, patted down in Croydon for Lukaku. Why are we getting fleeced for Onana when we have paid 100 million to loan a player back to you, and now you're just about willing to get him on a permanent with maybe a loan and an obligation to buy of 25 million spread across 4 years? Inter Milan, this will be docked and remembered in my diary. Inter Milan, you as a club, I know you ain't got money like that, but just the way you're moving right now with us, it's just not good. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's very, very rude. Very, very rude for everything we've done, all the muggings. I can't believe it. So that's why AC Milan is my favorite Milan club now. I can't lie to you. The way they've been acting with us, I don't understand. I don't understand it. You're looking to sell the goalkeeper, right? To bring in money. He's available. So why are you quoting us something different to Man United? What has Man United ever done for you? Actually, not to be fair. I think Alexis Sanchez and Mkhitaryan deals. There might be some good relationships there. But we gave you 100 million and then we gave you your striker back. We gave you 100 million and then we gave him back to you for 7 million on loan the year after. You got him back. And you still can't do us a solid. It's crazy. Crazy. But yeah, absolutely insane. I don't know what's going on. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, we move. But yeah, let's see what's being said in the comments. Chelsea executives schooled the United donkeys. Listen, Man United are known for spending a lot of money. It's why I wanted to extract as much money from their pockets as possible. Now, was I starting to get worried that we had potentially taken it too far? Of course. And for anyone that's not involved in the deal, as fans who are not involved in the negotiations, we are always going to be a little bit scared that we are over pushing our luck and that we might end up leaving with nothing, right? Because we don't want Mason Mount to leave on a free next summer and him to be sticking around and causing, you know, not even directly himself, but just him being around is going to provoke questions. I'm not saying that Mason Mount staying would have been unprofessional. I think he would have been professional. I think he would have been dedicated. I think he would have trained. I think he would have tried to play. But just him being in the environment with his contract not done, it just causes palaver and causes drama, whether he likes it or not. So for me personally, I'm not trying to have that. So you had to be sold, and I wanted that deal to get done, and I wasn't willing to lose out over 5 million. So I'm just glad that it's got done, because I was starting to get a little bit worried. Obviously they got it done, so fair play to them. Timber, verbal agreement, 41 million euros, rising to 47 million euros with add-ons. Reports are coming out as well. I'm just looking around to see what's going on. Fabrizio, 26 minutes ago, he understands that Arsenal and Ajax are entering the final stages of talks for Timber. Deal progressing. Same fees you've just told me. Submitted on Monday. Parties are now getting closer, but some points to be discussed. More to follow. Seems like he's going to be going. I am absolutely shocked. Manchester United, they got Mount. Fair enough. Cool. You done your deal. But they were interested in the Kim Min-jae from Napoli. He's gone to Bayern Munich. I heard so much links to Timber. The amount of times I heard Timber to Manchester United was unheard of. Obviously, with the Ten Hag link, he's going to Arsenal. Man United's business right now has been a little bit slow. This is obviously their first deal that they're getting done. I don't know how Man United fans are feeling, because I know a lot of them are not keen on Mason Mount for this money. And then on top of that, now I'm missing out on two centre-backs that you've been quoted on, or at least linked with for so long. I don't know, man. I don't know how Man United fans are feeling right now. Let us know in the comments. But if there's an unhappy fan base right now, it's probably them, because again, their ownership situation is still not sorted. So kind of crazy. My club is dead. RIP Ten Hag. Timber was last year. You weren't linked to him this summer, but I'm just saying, like, he was linked with you previously, so he was on your list at some point. Let's see. So back-to-back kind of summers on maybe missing out on your guys. Is Angelo going to Strasbourg? Yes, he is, I assume. You know, because immediately when he signed, Strasbourg was immediately mentioned as the direct loan for him. Now, of course, he will be with the team at pre-season. We may see him for maybe one match off the bench. Who knows how long they take to get this done. Patrick Vieira is going to be the new Strasbourg manager. If you haven't seen that, that's the new breaking news as well. So that's great. You know, Strasbourg getting themselves a new manager under our umbrella. So, you know, he's worked in the Premier League with Crystal Palace. He's worked with young players, Eze, Elise, Mark Gurhey, Anderson, etc., Mitchell. So, you know, he's got experience with working with young talents, and you know, he's improved that Crystal Palace team from really a relegation battle with the Gary Cahill, and the Scott Dans of this world, up to a level of young talents and mid-table. So, you know, I'm happy with that appointment for Strasbourg, and I'm happy for some young talents to go out there. Will it be Angelo? Probably, most likely, because he has been mentioned quite a few times with that club, and he's only just signed, and already they're linking him there. So I'm assuming that's something that's already been planned. Before we even signed him, this is where we're sending him. And it's kind of ironic that as soon as we get that deal over the line for Strasbourg, that deal just comes out of nowhere and suddenly is done. And now that's all linked. So, you know, there's an order to this. Even Datro Fofana, that's league on football. You know, Balogun had a great year out there for Arsenal, obviously. One of the top goal scorers. I wouldn't mind Datro Fofana going out on loan to Strasbourg as well. I think that's a good progression to go from the Norwegian league to the French league. It's a very physical league, translates well to the Premier League. He's not going to get much game time here. I would rather loan him out over Broja, purely because Broja is coming back from an ACL. I think it's better for a medical team under our roof to look after and look at that, and not allow him to go to another team who not maybe going to manage the situation with as much care. So I'm cool with that situation. The 5 million add-ons kicks in if United win the league. Essentially, we won't be getting the money. No, sorry. That's rude. Essentially, they only paid 55 because I don't see them winning the league. Oh, you said that anyway. All right, fair enough. I was just being cheeky, but you said that anyway. So it is what it is. You said it, not me. I guess it is 55 million then. Even got Onana on a free greedy club. They did, didn't they? They didn't even pay nothing for him from Ajax. We read that one out already, and much appreciated as well for this super chat. Big up your damn selves in the building as always. You guys, much love. PYS tweet. Let's go. What else is out there? We're going to run for about an hour and a half, so we got about 20 minutes before we wrap up. So let's see what else is going on. Mason Mount to earn 250,000 a week, potentially with bonuses to 300,000 a week at Manchester United. that is roughly what I expected him to want at Chelsea. I don't know what he was offered. Was it 200 or not, etc.? I don't know the nitty gritty details. I can't remember all the reports. So much Mason Mount report after report after report. But 250,000 a week. It sounds about right. You know, I'm not really surprised at that. They paid 65 million for him. He's an England international. He's been playing season in, season out. If you're looking at it from, I'm saying a lot very fast. I want to say this, right? And this is why I don't call him a snake and I don't call him a money grabber and all these things. Money Mace. He is Money Mace. I think a lot of times as football fans, we look at it from our perspective, right? I want you to take the Chelsea hat off and I want you to take the football fan hat off and I want you to put yourself in the position of the agent and in the position of Mason Mount. Now, from my understanding, Mason Mount leaves his stuff to his dad, former agent, and then now new agent. He says, listen, I'm just trying to focus on my football. I want you lot to handle it. Whatever you think is deemed worthy of what I am, then I'm happy with that. I'm not really trying to sit at the negotiation table. And a lot of players are like that. They don't want to sit at the table. They don't want to be, you know, they don't want to deal with their bosses directly. They'd rather somebody represent them and do that. So, you know, this is an agent also valuing him at that. It's very important to know that Mason Mount does not go into the office and say, I want this. It's also an agent that has a job to do, to value a player, to look at the player's CV, to see what the player has done, what he has accomplished, and to get the most amount of money for their player. That is their job. You do not become an agent of top players if you lowball your own players and you don't get maximum earnings for your own players. That is your job. That is why there's a negotiation and a battle. If you are Mason Mount's agent, anyone in this chat, if you are Mason Mount's agent and you have 2 player of the years on your head top and you've won Champions League and you've got a GA season to pull to as well where you can show output and you've got versatility and availability to pull to as well, regardless of whether you rate the player or not, forget that. If you're an agent of that player, you have to rate the guy, but listen, you're representing him. You're going to look for this 250K. You are. Sancho's on 300. Sancho's on 300. I had this argument with Saeed on Big Six. Sancho is on 300 squadinis. And he's done nothing in this country. So you have to expect to pay 250K. I'm not saying that I'm happy with that if he signs on that at Chelsea. I think that's a little bit above what I'd personally want to offer him. I'd probably, as a board member, look at around 200. But 250K, it doesn't really surprise me. It really doesn't. So, you know, that if your job is to represent a player and the player says to you, listen, I'm leaving it in your hands. It's not my job, it's your job, but make sure you do a good job, otherwise I'm going to fire you. If you come back with, oh, I've agreed a 160,000 deal for you, Mace. Okay, I don't really care about the money too much because I do want to stay. But I mean, Kepa's on more and he's sometime on the bench, you know. So why am I not getting more than that? You know, Reece James just signed 250. I play more than him. He's a better player in his position, but I play more than him. So what's going on? He ain't picked up no player of the year because he's not fit. So listen, that's the job of the agent. That's the job of the people behind the scenes. So I'm just trying to put a little bit of, you know, a bit of perspective on it and not just, oh, the kind of subsurface level of this, oh, Mason Mount, 250K, oh, he's a money grabber. Like he was on 80 for a long time, a lot lower than others, contributing far more. And now he's getting his money. And I think fair, you know, fair. I would want my money as well. If I was Mason, I would want my money. And if you were Mason at home, you'd want your money. If I'm playing 37, 38 games a season in the league and I'm picking up 2 player of the years and I'm scoring goals and assisting, I want my goddamn money. Like, I don't give a shit. Run me my money now. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to hear, oh, you're trying to lower the wage. Now you want to lower it. Cool, new ownership. But I'm seeing Lukaku, Sterling, you know, Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Kepa, Baba Rahman was making more than me. Callum Hudson-Odoi for years was making £40,000 every week more than me, while I picked up Player of the Year, the first one, which was justified in my opinion, and he's out on loan to Bayer Leverkusen, and he's picking up 40 racks more than me. Are you taking the piss? Like, when I talk to you about this now, you're going to start to think, you know what? Shit, that's kind of, you know what? That's kind of a mugging, you know. Callum Hudson-Odoi was making 40 racks more than me. Baba Rahman was making 20K more than me, and he's at Reading. Are you taking the piss? And now you want to tell me that, oh no, we're changing the landscape of the deals? Fuck off, man. So let's try to be fair here. If this was us, we ain't taking this shit. We run us our money. So you have to look at it from both perspectives. And this is why I'm not calling nobody a snake. And this is why I'm trying to tell you that everybody's got their side of the story and I can understand it. It's not because I'm trying to sit on the fence. I don't work for the club. I ain't getting paid by the club. I don't do no shoots. I'm not sitting on the fence. I'm just being honest with you. I'm trying to be as honest with you as possible because I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. If I'm him, I want my money. That's just how it goes. I want my money. Why didn't he turn down a new deal? Because 250K is a great deal. He got offered 250K. Why would he turn it down? He's injury prone right now. 250K is great money. Why would he turn it down? Not everybody's the same. Why would he turn it down? So, I don't know if he got offered 250K, Mace. I don't know what the original offer was. Like I said, right now I'm not really asked. It's not my business. But like I said, everybody's different. But Mason Mount, as much as I think Reece James is a better player, you could say Mason Mount has got, he's got reasons to think that he should be level with Reece in terms of what he's contributed. I can't argue with that. So yeah, let's see what else is being said. Chelsea are now set to step up their pursuit of Moises Caicedo. The Blues hope to seal a deal for 80 million. It's the same fee that we just mentioned. It's been reported for days now. 80 million, 80 million, 80 million, 80 million. That's what I would like it to be too. I've heard 100 before. I'm not trying to hear 100 again. Let's not get silly now. He's had one great season in the Prem. And by all means, I see a very special talent, but let's not take the piss here. Let's be serious. And I keep saying it with Brighton. I don't understand why you guys, I think there should be a good relationship between us and Brighton. We've given you Lamptey. We've given you Gilmore. We've given you Levi Colwell on loan. We've taken Cucurella for a big fee. We've paid you for Potter. We didn't take Potter. No, we paid compensation. Yes, we took all your stuff, but you guys have actually, if anything, improved. So you shouldn't be angry now. In hindsight, you got De Zerbi, better manager, it seems. So I don't really feel like there should be any animosity between us and Brighton. I feel like deals should be getting done at reasonable fees. Like I said, we're going to pay good money for you, but don't take the piss. You know what I mean? Because this is a good relationship. You're getting stuff back. So yeah, let's see what happens. He's accepted the same contract at United. He turned down 200K. Let's see. Yeah, so he didn't get 250K from us. He got 200K from us. Listen, if he wanted the 50K more, then fair enough. I personally would be kind of shocked if it's only about the 50K and it's not more to it. But if it is, then hey, it is what it is. It should be a celebration for you Chelsea fans that Mount is gone, such a diva. Plus, we at AC Milan will take care of Ruben. You make sure you take care of Ruben. I'll be watching. I'll be doing watch-alongs. I'll be watching and make sure you take care of Ruben because that's our guy. That's our Cobham brother right there. So yeah, don't play games with us. All right, there's more coming out. Listen, at this point, it's most likely I'm going to end up doing a second stream, but let's just see if there's anything actually new. Chelsea will attack the Caicedo deal now, as revealed yesterday. Manchester United never entered the race. Shock. Despite reports, and it's now time for Chelsea-Brighton direct negotiation. Caicedo already said yes, personal terms are not an issue, up to the clubs. Hurry up and get this done. And when we say attack, I mean attack. Now, for me personally, because there's so much potential for someone else to come in, like a Man City, even though I don't think they will, they could. You never know. You can never say never with even Liverpool, even though, again, I'd be shocked. It's just, you just never know in football. This is absolutely crucial to get this deal done. So I feel like we shouldn't take the piss here and we should go very, very aggressive and we should be very serious and try and get this deal done as soon as possible because it is critical. If we go into next season with the midfield we currently have, we are in serious shit. If we go into the next season with Caicedo and Enzo, different ball game. So it is critical we get this deal done because the market after this, in terms of targets, start to drop off to the secondary level of Lavias and etc. Good players, but not maybe massive, not massive needle movers. But for me, I'd like to get this deal done as soon as possible, man, because I'm not trying to see any drama. Trevor Chalobah tweet. Bruv, it's all kicking off right now, isn't it? Jesus Louise. What's going on now? Oh, he's probably tweeted about Mace. Let me see. My boy, heartbroken. Sorry for your loss, brother, says Dubois under the tweet. Listen, hearts get broken all the time, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. You don't have to like it, You don't have to love it, but you have to respect it. You know, this is business. Matt Law comes out, 55 million, 5+ 1 year contract for Mason Mount at Manchester United. I'm kind of puzzled as to why a 5+ 1 year contract to us as well would not work, because again, we're looking at long-term contracts. So I don't know what the dispute there was on too much time on the contract, because again, if you're agreeing a 5+ 1 at Man United, we probably would have done a 5+ 1. There's a lot of Chelsea fans going off. There's a lot of tweets going out. I'm reading this one here from Olivia. She put it in the public realm, so I'm putting it out as well. Just reading it. I don't care what anyone else says. This is a very sad day. Mason Mount has been a Chelsea since he was 6 years old and should have been with this club for a very long time. Knowing him, he'll be devastated devastated as ended like this. Personally, I really hope he goes on to smash it at Manchester United. Now, that's where I disagree. Politely, we've had Olivia on the channel. I saw her a couple of weeks ago at the Stamford Bridge Kickabout, brilliant event. And, my opinion, I ain't wishing nobody to smash nothing. I ain't wishing nothing for no smashing at no United. So we ain't doing that. You ain't smashing nothing at Man United. Listen, I'm not hoping for that at all. I don't know you personally, Mason, but we ain't playing that game. All right, you're up now. You're a rival. I don't want you to go to Man United and do nothing good. I want you to go out there and get me no GA. Go out there at Man United and get me no GA. Go give the ball away consistently with conviction. Give that ball away like you've never given it away before. Switch that play out of play. Switch that play out of play. You get that. You get the bars that I'm spitting, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think I'm playing around? Do you think I'm playing around? Switch that play out of play. About. Smash it. Are you mad? We ain't smashing nothing. We ain't smashing nothing. I don't give a damn. You ain't smashing shit. You at Man United now, you're an op. Do you understand? You are op. You ain't smashing nothing. I ain't trying to see Saeed celebrating on his watch-alongs about Mason Mount smashing it out from 30 yards out. No way, Jose. Shit, I might have to write a song about this. Don't make me switch, man. Make me angry. I got bars to release if you lot are playing with me, man. Chelsea fans, I know you're grieving right now. I know you're in hurt. You're in pain. I know these tweets are emotional, but listen, after this shit settles, I want you to get back into the mental capacity of rivals, all right? Get back into the mental capacity of we don't play, all right? You're a rival, and that's how it stays. Let's see what Alex is saying, Alex Goldberg, because we know he's a big Money Mace fan. I'm obviously gutted to see it not work out with Mason, but life goes on. Good lad, good lad. This is football, and I'm, of course, glad this saga is over. And I have to overall commend Chelsea for actually having a clear out. I would have kept Mason, but beggars can't be choosers. A clear out is a clear out. Good lad. Good lad. That's what I like to see. Yeah. No more Declan Rice propaganda clips as well. I don't want to see that nonsense. All right. He's playing for Arsenal now. He's an op. It's absolutely incredible. This is such a FIFA transfer window. If you had told Chelsea fans 2 years ago that Mason Mount will be playing for Manchester United and Declan Rice will be playing for Arsenal, the Cobham brothers, who had that little photo of Pulisic when they were little boys, they would have shat themselves. They would have absolutely shat themselves in disarray. They would have been so discombobulated. But now it's really happening. It doesn't make any sense. But I'm here for the carnage. I'm here for the chaos. I'm telling you, I love drama. As long as it's not happening at my club. So I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Yeah, man, 100%. I'm not trying to see nobody's success, nothing. If you're playing for, listen, Kante, I wish Kante all the success. Go out to the Saudi League and ball out to your heart's content. Go and get 20, 30 goals in a season. Go do whatever the hell you want. Even Loftus-Cheek, AC Milan and Serie A, go and win the Scudetto. But when you join a rival that we are in direct conflict with, yeah, I'm not wishing you well. I'm sorry. You are going up against us in this very season. The fixture list is out. When do we play Manchester United? Let me take a look at the fixture list. It's right here on the calendar. When do we play Manchester United? I'm not wishing you well in that match. I'm not wishing you well in any of the matches. I don't want Man United to pick up points. When I do my watch-alongs, do you see me cheering for Manchester United against Bournemouth? No, you do not. Do you think I'm going to be celebrating a Mason Mount goal against Brentford to put Manchester United in the lead at Old Trafford? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. So let's not be silly now. They're rivals for a reason. All right? Let's not play. If you're going out of the country, then we can talk. and we can only talk in your country, because when you step onto European soil, when you step onto, you know, we're not in Europe. We're not in Europe, so yeah, that's embarrassing. One second, just deep that. We're not in Europe. Oh my god, we're not even in Europe. I can't even play that card. Oh my god. Shit. God damn. Shit. We're not even in Europe. All right, I was gonna say when you step onto European soil, the game changes, but then I realized we're not even in Europe. So everybody this year has a pass. Okay, if you're in Europe and you're playing for one of these clubs overseas, then I guess I wish you well. But when we come back into Europe, it's on site. 24-25 is on site. Okay, I won't be wishing you well at all. So yeah. That's disappointing. What a realization that was. We ain't even in Europe. Shit. How embarrassing. So yeah, for me, no. Yeah, we ain't playing that game. All right. We're not doing that. You're not getting no good luck charm from me. So yeah, do what you do, but I do it. I'll be hating. Maybe next year. Maybe I had to reset. I had to literally get up, go get a breath of fresh air, go and close the window. I had to really reset because I just deeped it and I'm fuming. When I really think about it, damn, we're not in Europe. What a catastrophe. All right, cool. Let's see what else is being said. I'm just going through these opinions. I just want to see what everybody's saying, man. Damn. Some serious shit happening today. Never surprised. And there's that famous picture of Kai Havertz and Mason Mount with the arms around each other, facing obviously not towards the camera, both names and numbers at the back. That photo was paraded around Chelsea Twitter when we won the Champions League. Of course, the assist and the goal for the Champions League win under Tuchel. And now both of them will be playing for rival clubs in red. Mad. Absolutely mad. I haven't even tweeted. I ain't gonna lie to you. First thing that comes to my mind when this shit happens is to go and speak to you, man, on the camera. I ain't really got nothing to say on tweets right now. Let me just decompartmentalize. Deal done. Timber. All right. Shout out Pitbull every time. That's nice for you lot. Good depth. I'm not gonna lie, good depth. But we shall see. We shall see how much. So yeah, deal's done. Yeah, I've kind of just been saying that Timber's done anyway, to be honest, because you know, once you went in, just felt like you were going to get it done. Grizz is saying, I wanted Liverpool to get Mount when we were linked. I also absolutely get why we walked away at the asking price of 60 million with a year left. United, of course, get rinsed again price-wise, but they have a wonderful player who is in his prime. So Grizz, a big fan of Mason Mount. What? Saeed rang my phone yet? Yo, Saeed! Saeed, come to the phone. Saeed! Saeed! I love the way I'm calling him like he's in my kitchen. Yo, brother! I'm just gonna just quickly just want to have a word. Oh, there he is. Hey, brother! Yay, brother!
What's going on, man?
How are you, bro? Thanks for sending the money I asked for.
What's up, homie, man? I watch baseball now, man. Football, man.
Yo, you're a Yankees fan, yeah? You're hooked.
I'm a Yankees fan, man. I don't know anything about football, man.
Darn tootin'. Darn tootin', my dog. Y'all tripping, bro. Y'all tripping. I said to you a long time ago, run me my 60 million, and you tried to. It's too much money.
Oh,
it's too much money.
Huh? You know, you must be working for the club then. If they knew what you wanted, yeah,
hey,
then something's going on. Todd Bowley's in them spaces, man. I'm telling you now, you lot need to lock off your spaces that you do on Twitter, yeah. And because again, he's coming with all these bids, and you know, every club seems to be matching it. So he must be doing something right.
Well, brother, listen, I do have one board member that follows me on Twitter. I don't know if that's enough for him to really be listening to any of my content, but listen, I said 60 million squadinis, brother.
Flipping million. I cannot believe it, you know. 1 year left on his contract. You know what I mean? Hasn't had the best of seasons. I don't think for me his trajectory is high enough to be paying that amount. I think there's better out there. We've got fleeced, but listen, If he scores a goal at Stamford Bridge and kisses that badge in front of all you lot Chelsea faces, it might be worth it. It might be worth it.
You've got to get behind him now. Yeah.
And it is what it is, isn't it? What can you do, eh? What can you do?
Bro, you've now got to start to inhale in the minerals, take in the vitamins. Have you had a glass of water?
Bro, listen, you know what? I've got one right here, you know, and it's finished. I finished it in about a minute. When I found out that news, I was actually going to shopping, you know.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to Lidl and buy some stuff. And I was on the door, I'm not even kidding you, and then I see David Ornstein Bomber. I closed that
the David Dagger.
David Dagger. I sat down, I gulped about a litre of water, and I said to myself, damn, it hasn't even like marinated. I wanted a little bit of a saga. I wanted him to stay at Chelsea, and then we just kind of I'll be honest with you, I was against his signing. I'm coming on here and admitting I would rather it not happen, but it is what it is. Ten Hag likes him. I'm hearing that he liked him from way back in 2018. I mean, what was he doing? Was he kicking ball in 2018, or is that just a bluff?
Nah, it's not a bluff, bruv. I've been telling you, bro.
But what's he been doing though? Has he not?
Bro, on the big six, you thought I was trying to pull a fast one. I said to you, he's a very good player, bro. The last 18 months, it's been a regression. It's been I will tell you, it's been stagnation, right? It's 100% development-wise. He's been on pause, but take a look at Matisse. He was one of the youngest, teenager in the Eredivisie, putting up brilliant numbers. He was fantastic, right? Playing in the deeper positions, he played in Europa League football. He was brilliant. Then take a look at Derby. You know, almost got promoted again, playing very well, championship level again. Just on the cusp of becoming 20. I think he was a teenager. Then he goes to Chelsea. First season, plays 37 games in the Premier League. Really good, strong season. Second season, brilliant player of the year season. Brilliant player of the year season. And I'm not even taking a piss, bro. I personally, and these guys know it, I would have preferred to keep him. But if you're not going to sign a new deal...
Why do you keep him then? Why do you keep him?
Because he wouldn't sign a new deal, bro. We couldn't get a new deal done, so we had to get the money in.
But you lot took the piss out of him. You didn't want to give him a contract that was worth his amount. Like, come on, man, this is Cobham's final. We would never do this to a United, you know what I mean, from the academy. We would never do this to someone like that.
I'm well aware you're about to pay Rashford about 350 bags. Listen, we don't operate like that. Do you know what I mean?
But you've got to keep a bit of history. Where's the Chelsea history gone?
Levi Colwell is the history. Reece James is the history. You know, hopefully.
Reece James is out here partying with, you know what I mean? Like, he's just chilling, man.
Bro, you've got a good player, bro.
He is the Frank Lampard. I feel like for me, he's the lion in that Chelsea.
Frank Lampard, my backside. Frank Lampard.
Right?
Hey, slow down with that. Slow down with that. Slow down with that. Yeah? Slow down there, buddy. Do you know what I mean? But you got a good player, bro. You got a good player. And do you know what? For me, I wouldn't even be surprised if he does okay to decent to very good for you. He could do good. You never know, bro.
Nah, but you know what? You know what it is, yeah? I'm only going to be here for the Chelsea tears when I see your fan base crying. Look, we should have kept him. And then when you get all of that heat on your channel,
me?
It's like,
why would I get that heat? Hold on. Blah, blah, blah.
No, because I know you didn't want him to sell it, but you'll still get that toxicity in your channel.
Why you coming for me for? Like 50 cents. Why you looking at me for? I didn't do nothing. Listen, Kai Havertz, I said I'm willing to sell this season. I've seen 3 years and I'm done. Like personally, people can provide their excuses, their context, this, that, the third. But I'm taking my money from Arsenal and keeping it stepping because I want Caicedo. I'm much happier to have Kai Havertz at Arsenal than have Caicedo and Rice at Arsenal. So I'm taking that trade-off. Mason Mount, I wanted to keep. Do you know what I mean? But it is where it is. It is where it is. But you know, for you, bro, I just hope that you internalize this and you accept this and you.
Yeah, more than you can believe. More than you can believe.
Yeah.
Like, literally, more than you can believe.
There's some stands coming your way too. So good luck with that. There might be some rebranding from Chelsea accounts that might just become Man United fans, brother. Like,
listen, I've seen them. There's a couple already right now. I've seen a couple of MDL. That's the Mount Defense League already formed. You know what I mean? The EST is 2023. I've seen them already right now. So I have to deal with all that. But luckily for me is that right now, I've got no agendas. There might be other people that have agendas from the off. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give you time. But I'm not going to come on here and later on have people come in and say, Saeed, I told you so. Because at the end of the day, yeah, no United fan was raving about Mason Mount. So if all these people that come up to me now say, Saeed, but you didn't rate him. No, he wasn't that great at Chelsea. He was okay to decent, but he didn't blow over the water. But I give him a chance, and then we'll see in it. Like, it's going to be crazy to see Bruno Fernandes and Mason Mount in the same team. It could be. Like, I might have to bring some bleach.
I look forward to seeing it. I'm going to be doing lots of watch-alongs, football focus. I'd like to see how it looks. So, yeah.
Well, you might see the ball retention being probably about 20%. But, you know, that rock and roll football, it might be good. You know what I mean? But end of the day, like I said to you, man, Johnny Mirrells, he might be a United fan in the next coming days. You know what I mean? So he might join us. Tell him he's not going to be welcomed here at United, because I feel like, for me, we don't like that kind of energy. So please keep him in your club if that's okay with you guys.
Saeed, I've been doing negotiations all summer. You know, I said to Arsenal fans, you know, I want minimum 60 for Kai. They decided to get generous and give us a 5 million extra. I wanted 60 million from yourself. You've obliged that last. You know, we can negotiate for fans as well. For the Vitamins FC, I'm willing to do a deal of about 5 million for Vitamins FC. And there's quite a lot there's quite a lot that comes with that package, you know. So I'm not even including the add-ons. I think we could do business, brother. We could do business.
No, listen, you know what we need to do? We need to hijack this Caicedo for you lot.
Hijack which what now? Which what? Who? Brother, relax. No, relax.
Because he's a United fan.
Relax.
His biggest legend is Valencia.
Stop it.
So hopefully, like I said to you, he'll come back. Champions League football. Have you got Champions League football to offer? Oh wait, yeah, no, you haven't got an offer. Yeah, let's move on with that one. You man finished 12th last season. So again, it's not very, you know what I mean? It's not very good in there. And yeah, man, you got Gallagher in there, haven't you? You got Gallagher, you know what I mean? You got the next, homecoming now. So it's all good, man. It's all good.
Well, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna wrap up my stream. I'm gonna see you in a couple of hours on Big Six. Keep drinking in your minerals. Keep drinking in your vitamins. Get the water down, yeah. All right. And brother, it's going to be a great season. This kind of stuff only happens on FIFA. It's beautiful.
You best hope it's a good season, because if you lot don't get where you need to be after spending so much money, then it's going to be ugly. Why
is he getting aggressive? How much money have you spent? Hold on, what you don't spend money? Hold on a second. If I'm calculating, hold on. If I'm calculating how much money we're bringing in currently, as my little nerd tax fingers get, you know, typing away on my keyboard here. If I calculate how much money we're bringing in this summer, I think this whole 600 million stuff needs to be put to rest. I think it's more 400 million. How much money you spent? How much money you spent, brother, over the last... Oh, he hung up. Exactly. So hold that. Don't even start, right? Because Man United, 95 million euros on Anthony, 70 million euros on Casemiro, 57 million euros on Martinez, 15 million euros on Malacia, 65 million on Money Mace. 60 million on Money Mace. And I'm looking at the outgoings, and I'm not seeing much money. I'm seeing Pereira, and that's about it. So, and that's just last year. I don't even want to go to the year before with Sancho and all them, man. So, yeah, slow your roll. I don't want to hear that, especially from a team that hasn't won a major honor since Sir Alex Ferguson. Let's have it right. So, yeah, no Champions League for you, no Premier League for you. So, no, don't even try it. Yeah, Sancho, Varane, Ronaldo. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. All right, Fab tweet. And then I'm wrapping up because this is just never ending, right? Fab needs to relax. I can do a second stream later on if need be. We don't need to, don't shoot your load all at once. It's not necessary. We've had quite a lot of news now. I'm satisfied. Timber says deal now at final stages as revealed earlier, but no medical has been scheduled yet, and there are still some details to clarify between clubs. Looks like a matter of time before Arteta will have one more top sign and more to follow. Arsenal are going to spend 200 million inside June before July even hits. Obviously, Havertz, Rice, and Timber. That's already done as far as I see it. So it is what it is. Guys, make sure you smash up the likes. Make sure you subscribe. It's been a great stream. It's been an absolute madness. Pog boom. It's been absolute insanity this stream. So much going on. Looks like Man United are going to close in on Mason Mount in the coming hours, if not day. And then when they officially, when it's all officially wrapped up and done, then we move. So until then, big up your damn selves. I'll be back soon. More than you can't believe. Subscribe, smash up the likes, and I'll see you guys next time. In a bit, people. Peace. Run me my money, balance my books.
Perfect.